When I think about this is a hard subject, and Max, I'll confess this to you. It's very, very difficult for me to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm very fond of Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan won a national championship, back-to-back titles at Florida, had Joakim Noah, Al Horford, and those boys. And I know the man knows basketball and he can coach. But I have never felt he was the right man for that job. And that's my issue with the Oklahoma City Thunder because of Russell Westbrook and the mercurial talent but personality that he is. I look at a guy like anybody from a Mo Cheeks to a Mark Jackson to a Jeff Van Gundy, somebody like that. I just think that you've got to have a resume and credentials on the pro level. And the only reason I brought up Mo Cheeks is because he's been an assistant there for a long time. What I'm saying to you is that I look at the Oklahoma City Thunder and you look at some of the decisions like Russell Westbrook, I'm worried about 13 points last night. We all know that ain't going to last. We all know what a superstar he is as a talent. But in terms of his decision-making, at times, sometimes it's compromising. It puts them in a compromising position. And I just look at the Oklahoma City Thunder as being exactly what they are. They're a good team that'll make the playoffs, and then they will go home. And that's what I see.
Real quick. I just want to clarify. So you're telling me that the reason you don't see a fit between Billy Donovan and Russell Westbrook is Donovan's resume?
I think the combination of Donovan's resume and his temperament. I don't think he's the right guy to coach that team.
Right.
I'm not saying he can't coach in the NBA. I'm certainly not saying he can't coach basketball. The man's a champion, and I'm personally very fond of him. But I don't think that that's the guy Sam Presti should have hired as the coach. And I think I see evidence of it ever since he's arrived.
Who's my favorite player to watch in the NBA? Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
I love Russell Westbrook.
So do I.
But I have to, because, you know, we watch sports, we want to be inspired. Here's a guy, doesn't matter how much money he's making, who else is on the team, whatever flaws he has in terms of not making decisions,
every time.
he gives you his all every single night, and I appreciate that.
So do I.
He's a force of nature. And the work that he puts in is amazing to keep it going like that, and the intensity is competitive drive. So I take no pleasure in saying this. He's 30 years old. And I was talking to someone at ESPN who I'm not going to mention. I'd like to shout them out, but I'm not sure that they'd want to be shouted out on this. And I'll check, and maybe I'll do it in the future. Who was asking me the question, what's the difference between Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose right now? In other words, Russell Westbrook is this incredible athlete who relies a lot on that to go, be faster, go harder than everybody else. Once the edge starts to come off that, because he's not a great shooter, how valuable is he? He's 30 years old now. And I want to just take you through some numbers. I know numbers, but I'm talking about he had a 24.7 PER. That's an all-star. That's starting to approach MVP level, but not really in 2013-14. Then 29-1, 27-6. That's kind of MVP level. All triple-doubles aren't created equal. 2 years ago when he got the triple-double, he led the league in PER. That's an offensive efficiency rating, basically. Think about being that efficient and averaging a triple-double.
I got you. But here's the thing, Max.
Hold on, wait.
Are you telling me then you learned more about the Thunder as well?
More about the Thunder. More about the Thunder. Because the Celtics, I know, are going to be good. I'm not worried about the Celtics. They're going to be really good. Whether they beat Toronto or not is an open question. We'll find out in the playoffs. They're going to be really good. I'm not worried about them. The Thunder. The next year, last year when he averaged the triple-double, 24.7 PER, as low as it had been since right before he became a real superstar MVP level guy.
Talking about last season?
Yes, last season. Played 80 games. His value over replacement almost cut in half from the year before. So, in terms of the efficiency, in terms of the way he's playing the game, he's 30 years old now. It may be imperceptible to the eye, but the results are saying that Russell Westbrook is not quite the same. If that's the case, it's over for them.
Yeah, you got to give somebody a chance to respond to that, because here's what I would tell you. Last year, unlike 2 years ago, Kevin Durant leaves, and everything is on his shoulders. He's a one-man wrecking crew. Now, we didn't know Victor Oladipo was as good as he is, and Victor Oladipo was there. But nevertheless, we still looked at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kevin Durant leaves. The franchise is on Russell Westbrook's shoulders. Kevin Durant left him like a thief in the night, just left him hanging. We had questions about Russell Westbrook and what he brought to the table. And as a result, everything was on his shoulders, and he carried that franchise on his shoulders. The next year, not only does he get Paul George, but he gets Carmelo Anthony. guys that you're trying to fit in. So, of course, his PER is going to suffer because you have to figure out a way to ingratiate them into the new system. I'm not saying the numbers don't matter. I'm saying you have to contextualize it. What he had at his disposal 2 years ago
Agreed.
was entirely different than last year.
I think that's an excellent distinction because that can affect your efficiency. I'm just saying, triple-double, triple-double. MVP, not the MVP. If you're not all the way right, and it's more than just who he's playing with, and he takes another tumble like he did the previous season, he's not MVP level. He's kind of all-star-ish level, and the Thunder is done.